Good morning, everyone. Let's look at your markets for today. We'll start with the economic calendar as always. I want to keep today's video pretty short, actually. So on the economic calendar, we've got PMIs coming out, Purchaser Manufacturing Index. If you don't know what that is, definitely go read about it. It again targets inflation. It's a percentage value. It's an index, so it's a percentage value. So above 50 is growth in the market, and below 50 means that there's no growth. So 50 is the target for these, and if you have it above 50, then it's pretty good for that specific currency. So on the euro, they expect it to be right at the 50% on the market composite, and the services one as well should be below. And then we've also got the pound PMI coming out, and they expect a pretty decent value there of 55.7%. I'm not sure if it'll reach that, but if it does, it's going to be great for the pound, I think. We've also got member Haldane speaking today at about the same time as these coming out. So you should definitely see some volume on this for the pound specifically. Then we've got retail sales in the euro and the German BUBA president Whiteman speaking. So that should give us volume. If you compare pound to euro, I think we'll definitely see some volume there. Then we've got the US non-manufacturing PMI, which is just the services one. They expect that to be 56%, which is really good. But it was 56.9, so they expect pretty much the same level. Don't think it'll affect the Fed's outlook at the moment. Powell confirmed their wait and watch outlook, and I don't think we'll get anywhere near 3% inflation based on this figure. So we're pretty fine with that. But that could definitely give us some volume again. So we've got some things to look out for. We'll look at sentiment first, and then I want to turn to the Commitment of Traders report after that. So on the indices, it is a Monday morning, so we should see it being neutral. So S&P 0.96% down, DAX 0.33% down, FTSE 0.39% up. We've got the Euro stocks 0.1% down, and Russell 0.78% up. That's pretty neutral in my opinion. Changes to hourly. Ignore the signals as always. We've got the gold pretty neutral as well. Come on. Gold pretty neutral as well, down 0.48%, and silver down 0.36%. That's as neutral as it gets on gold. Then everything on the Forex should be pretty neutral across the board. Yeah, I mean, that's as neutral as it gets. It's a Monday morning, so it's what we expect to see. It is the 5th today. There's new articles out. I'm not going to look at them specifically. I think we can see what we want to see ourselves. They just kind of confirm what I already know by looking at the actual charts. So this is pretty decent neutral sentiment at the moment. I quickly want to turn to the Commitment of Traders report. We'll do that quickly. So there we go. As we can see, there's differences in the Aussie's gone neutral from a previous long-term sentiment being bearish. So it's gone neutral, which means it's further bearish in the short term. The Swissy has gone neutral as well, which means short term also bearish. It was long-term bullish, now it's long-term neutral. So it is shifting to the downside. So we've got the Swissy pushing down as well. Pound is even more bearish than it was previously as well. It's gone more bearish than that. The Kiwi has gone neutral from a bullish long term. It's neutral at the moment. We should see it turn. We should see it turn bearish if the current trend holds as well. So everything seems to be down. And then we've got the dollar going bullish long term, skipping through neutral entirely. Neutral territory. It was neutral short term last week with a bearish overall. It has gone completely bullish with a short term bullish sentiment as well. Now bear in mind this report came out on Friday, but it was based on data from Tuesday. And by then, there was no confirmation yet that President Trump has contracted the COVID virus. This has seen some pressure as a result. The dollar has seen some pressure as a result. So we've seen the markets push the dollar down on Friday as a result of this. But whether that move continues is what we'll try and determine today. So with that in mind, we'll look at the markets quickly. We'll shift down to the markets. I just want to make sure euro is still bullish with the pressure on the pound. So let's shift to the charts. There we go. So we'll turn to this in a second. I want to start with gold. Silver. Silver is still respecting the short-term trend or the long-term trend that I predicted, and the short-term trend is still in that channel, but it needs to break today, so it's going to push up or down today. So we'll definitely see some movement on silver. We've got gold pressuring down, is broken this trend line, retesting it now. I could potentially see myself shorting this in the near future. Actually, very soon. I'll probably do it by the end of the video. Aussie Cad, this is ranging. I'm not going to touch this for now. Aussie Swissy, that's consolidating. It's still in the channel. Had long wicks to the downside on the channel, but it is still closing inside it. So for me, that is still an upward move, even though the Swissy has gone neutral. The Aussie has gone neutral, but remember the Swissy has as well. So both the Aussie and the Swissy are neutral, so it's kind of choppy. Failed to break this level twice and hasn't broken the channel or broken outside the channel yet. Aussie yen, we saw yen weakness overnight, so that's pushed up. I could potentially see this ranging or consolidating to the side. Aussie Kiwi, same thing. It's right at this 50% retracement of the previous move, and it's kind of lingering there, and it's been lingering there for a few times. So potentially we should see them push the upside with pressure both on the Kiwi and the Aussie. Both of them turned neutral, with both of them being bearish. It could potentially just range sideways. So for me, although I expect in the long term for the Aussie to recover, I think in the short term it will just consolidate to the side. Same thing with the Aussie dollar. I think the Aussie dollar is going to break this trend line, so that'll be my entry signal to go short on it. Euro Aussie, well, that's kind of just still in the channel, so definitely look to short that. Pressure on both the euro. No, the euro is supposed to be strong still. Yeah, euro is overall bullish, but the net changes has gone down significantly. It's been reducing its positions in short. So in the short term, there's definitely a shift coming. It's only long-term bearish. Let me shift back to the commitment of traders report, and you'll see it's long-term bullish, but it's reduced short positions. It's gone short by 13,500, which is the most it has been reducing in a while. The previous week it only reduced by 4,000. So there's definitely a shift and pressure on the euro at the moment. If you look at the previous reports, 2 weeks ago we had a pretty decent bullish figure, 390,000 going bullish on it, and then this week it's gone down another 13,000. So for me, that's pressure on the euro in the short term. So yeah, we'll shift back to the charts and look at that again. For me, if there's pressure on both of them, it should respect technicals. But I see a double bottom here, so for me, I don't know. I think this could potentially, we'll put in a line there. If it closes outside that line, and we'll array this, or outside that line, we should see it form a triangle. So I'll predict the triangle now. 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3. Obviously don't want the triangle to be this specific color. Let's see if I can get this selected. There we go. Just want to change the color to a grayish color so we can actually see what's happening. There we go. So I expect this to consolidate into that little triangle, and I'm trying to select the actual. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Close enough. And consolidate into that triangle before we see a break, and then we'll see a shift to either side. Euro Swissy, that's choppy. I'm not touching it. Euro Yen. I do expect this move to the upside that I predicted over there. I think that'll happen now. So Euro Dollar. Actually, we could just go long here. I think we could just go long. We'll do that in a second. Euro Dollar. It's been respecting this trend line and that level there. So for me, I'll wait for the breakout. It's another triangle forming, but I expect the breakout to the upside. No, to the downside, I mean. Stronger dollar, weaker euro. I expect to push to the downside. Yeah, we'll just do a little triangle in there just so we can keep an eye on it. Something like that. I expect to push to the downside, but wait for the break as confirmation. Pound yen, that's ranging. We've got this level and that level. So if it breaks either of them, regardless of which one, if it breaks either that level or that level, we've got a breakout box there. As soon as it goes outside it, just follow the trend. Kiwi yen is back in the channel right at median, so it makes it really difficult to predict. So I won't touch this. Kiwi dollar, same thing. I won't touch that. Swissy, I expect this line to break, but it had a false breakout before. So for me, this is a dangerous trade until we've got confirmation of a close outside that, and the next candle being green. We want 2 green candles outside before we actually confirm the break. Dollar yen, consolidating at that price, which is fair value. We had a bunch of dojis there. It was also the pivot for yesterday. So for me, this is as neutral as it gets and nothing's happening, so I won't touch it. So that's all of them. I think we've gone through most of them. Now, Europound, I mentioned there's going to be news events today that will affect both of them and give us some volume. So for me, I have Watcher, my little indicator, 3 up arrows saying long. So that is the reason why I opened the trade. So I'll leave this as a pretty tight stop loss and a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So I'll leave that to do what it wants to do. And then finally on dollar CAD, this is what I want to see happen today. The reason why, we've got a long-term trend. Let's shift to the H4. Let me just remove some of these indicators. The 20 MA and the 50 MA can go as well. Don't need those. So if you look at the H4, it doesn't get better than this, does it? We've got it right on the 200 moving exponential moving average. We've got a trend line that it's respected and a price. Now I'll change the color of this trend line that it's on. We'll make that white. This price, it's been absolutely beautiful. This is a confluence of supports. We've got the 200 EMA, a trend line, and a support resistance level. So it was a support first and there as well, and a resistance there. So support turned resistance turned support level, and it respected this price recently, and the 200 EMA. It's respected recently. I expect a shift to the upside with this line potentially shifting to there. So what we'll do, yeah, I'll shift it there and then just unselect that, select that, shift it. No. There we go. We'll zoom in. Okay, but this is why we're doing the trade. So really difficult to move it when the candles are this close together, but that's close enough. We'll just shift this one to make it. No, it won't shift. Anyway, that's what I expect to see on this one. Now we'll shift back to the H1. That'll change the actual arrow. But long term, this is a swing trade, people. This is swing trading. So for me, this is an opportunity to go long. Watch it respect this trend line maybe in the next 2 or 3 candles. And I think even with Trump's diagnosis of contracting COVID, I think in the long term we'll see this shift back to the upside. Now, yeah, I mean, it doesn't get better than this. We've got that confluence. Remember that on the H4 we had the 200 EMA at the bottom of this level. We had the trend line and we have this price that I'll make it thick as it can be, so that we know that this is a very important level. So for me, this is the greatest opportunity to go long. We've got the next candle opening in about a minute, at which point, if this candle closes green, I'm going long. I do like it coming down significantly. I would like to see it retest the trend line at the bottom, or at the very least the support level when the next candle opens, and that's where I will enter the trade. On the pull down. If it doesn't come down, I'll just go long. But I think if it opens, it should come down first and then go long. That's what I hope to see. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I'm trying to keep it short. I hope it helps. Good luck and enjoy.